Let's turn next to the latest in the impeachment inquiry ongoing in the United States. Another explosive day, topped by the release of text messages that show that top U.S. diplomats, Trump's own envoys, encouraged the Ukraine president to conduct an investigation linked to Joe Biden's family. John Northcott is here. John, these came out just late last night. Let's go through these texts and what we learned from them.
Yeah, indeed, Heather. Is it a smoking gun? Is it the situation that could change the equation entirely? It is a series of texts and the 21st version of tapes or smoking guns. So all of this around, as you say, the machinations to withhold U.S. aid to the new administration of Ukraine, to hold over the head of the president the underlined need to investigate Joe Biden and his son, who at that point was working for a Ukrainian gas company. These machinations having gone on for quite some time. And now, with the testimony of this man here, Kurt Volker, he is the former special envoy. He's the man who resigned just days ago. He's the man who had 10 hours of testimony in front of 3 U.S. committees, and those committees, to avoid public confusion, they say, are releasing some of these texts. And here, for example, good lunch. Thanks heard from White House assumed President Zelensky of Ukraine convinces Trump he will investigate, quote, get to the bottom of what happened in 2016, this around Biden, but also potentially around Hillary Clinton and any activities that they allege might have had anything to do with the U.S. election. We will nail down date for further visit to Washington. Now, another figure in this, Bill Taylor. He's a career diplomat, Vietnam veteran, somebody essentially who sounded concerns about this in text that he sent as well, saying this: the message to the Ukrainians and Russians we send with the decision on security assistance is key. With the hold, we have already shaken their faith in the U.S., thus my nightmare scenario. So there's his depiction of what he feels that this holding over the head of the Ukrainians could do, going on to say, as I said on the phone, I think it's crazy to withhold security assistance for help with a political campaign. And that is the allegation that is at the heart of all of this, effectively giving a sitting U.S. president power over an opponent, heading into an election scenario and using taxpayer-funded aid to do it. Now, this man here, Gordon Sondland, he donated $1 million to the Trump inaugural. He is the special envoy, or the ambassador, in fact, to the EU, and he is pushing back against this, saying, no quid pro quo here, nothing to see, continue on this process. The shadowy figure at the bottom of all of this as well, Rudolph Giuliani, the president's personal lawyer. The committee, in releasing this, saying it's not normal, acceptable, it's unethical, unpatriotic and wrong. American presidents should never press foreign powers to target their domestic political rivals engaging in these stunning abuses in broad daylight, and it does not absolve the president of his wrongdoing or his grave offenses against the Constitution. That's from 3 Democratic committee chairs, and they say these texts, there are a lot more of them to come. Heather.
John, that's just the latest. We'll get more on what has been happening on this in recent hours and the Trump reaction to it as the morning goes on. Thank you very much, John Northcott.